he says in his outlines to aesthetics, sometimes I'm thinking clearly, other times confused. Who thinks things confused does not separate attributes, but imagines them or is thinking them. Who thinks things confused, imagine things dark. So it's not that when you don't see things clear that you are not thinking, but you are thinking them in a very dark way. But of course, if you see something dark, you could also switch the light on. So it has always, if you see things dark, you have always the potential of see what was hidden in the dark when you turn on the light. And in the next part, it's going to be more interesting for me because, I'm quoting again, I recognize similarities and differences of objects, either clearly or sensory. So, genius, acumen, and understanding can be both, either rational or sensory. Aesthetic of understanding means astute and witty thinking. So, that's an argument, or that's, for looking at things aesthetically. So even if you don't have a clear concept on them, so maybe it's worth to look at them or to just imagine them. And now coming to the nonsense, for instance, Nietzsche is saying that sense is only relational. So it is not existing on its own, but always an effect of interpretation, and it can change. It just depends on the situation and the context. So nonsense can change to sense. So that's this potential. And Walter Blumfeld discovered different sorts. I quote this from a book called The Praise of Nonsense. And it's a lot about philosophers. And I was ordering this book in the bookshop, and they asked me, so what kind of subject is it? And then I said, well, yeah, philosophy. And I think it's interesting to get more into this course of nonsense, because, yeah, it makes things a bit more clear. So there are 5 different species of nonsense, and one is the semantic nonsense. And I would like to show you a sentence which makes it maybe hopefully a bit more clear. The sentence would be, this round circle has 4 corners. So that's a disorder between a disorder of the relation between symbol and object. The second one would be that the composition of words together make no sense, like king, but, or similar end. That would be, well, you can compare it to James Joyce and his book Finnegan's Wake. So this is full of this decomposed sense. The nonsense of views, example would be someone is waiting until the river will run out to cross it. So that does not make sense of views. And that's maybe what I did with my project, because this one-cell organisms does not need architecture to be protected or the like. Then there is nonsense of logic. Schopenhauer argued to Hegel, all goose have 2 legs. You have 2 legs, therefore you are a goose. That's nonsense of logic. There's also nonsense of motivation, which is psychology, and nonsense of frame, that the relation of the parts gets lost, and therefore it's no unity, and therefore it makes no sense. Oh, well, that's... I will keep this picture. And I will close with a kind of a review of my project. because I was working together with all these scientists from the Max Planck Institute, and they were researching yeast cells, and we were working together very much, so they helped me to create my sculpture, and I became really involved in their projects as well. And when we finished this project, they said to me, or even in the process of creating it, they said, well, you know, if you can create a slipper for Paramecium, why can't we do vessels for cells? And now it came really to the point that they got inspired through my idea and now trying to make vessels to research their organisms a bit better. I cannot really properly explain what they are doing, but somehow they got inspired and now using my idea of taking care of some one-cell organisms. And yeah, that's my speech for nonsense and for maybe not obvious useful projects. Thank you.